nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse Show. The Drew and Fuse Show. The Drew and Fuse Show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
Hello, we are back.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
We got to work on that landing, but it's good. We're very good.
Hey, our landing is that there is no landing.
That's a fact right there. 100 plus in. We're still working on the landing, but I like it.
This is like 148 or 149. We don't know when it'll get released, but it's close to the old 150 mark. And we are here with a special guest. He's already on. And last time he was here, he was known as Phenom, and he had just moved to Vegas. And now he is Velvet Haas.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
How's it going?
It's good, man. It's good. I just saw you guys, like 2 weeks ago. And I feel like everything was so quick. It all happened so quick. And, we rolled up the carpet and you guys were out of town. And I feel like I talked to 100 people for like a minute each. And so it's nice to see you guys.
No, that's how I felt too. It's like I wanted to talk to so many more people and longer. And then it's like you just didn't get to.
Yeah. It was great. I had a blast. I just went down the block and I got to go to bed in my own bed, and it's the best.
I think I spent one day too long in Vegas, and it was just like, for me, that extra day was like, okay, I'm good on Vegas for a hot second. And I love Vegas too much, but I need to be 2 days in and out, or it hits me hard. And I wasn't drinking, and it still gets me.
Yeah, it's something about just the minutia of Vegas. After a couple of days, it's like you kind of turn into a pumpkin out here. And it's been I'm on my third year now. I just started my third year, and still every day I'm like, holy fuck, I live out here. That's kind of weird. And Vegas is just kind of weird in general, as you guys know. I mean, I saw the house you guys were staying at. There's some weird shit that went on there.
For sure. It was like on the snap maps, it was like the love shack, like the love, like something love sack, or like whatever.
Yeah.
We were like, oh my God, we're at the swingers resort.
Yeah, no black light.
There was a video that went out. Someone texted us that it was actually, for a while, it was on the news. I guess it was fronting as a church, but it was having the swingers thing. Anyways, great spot. I mean, I highly recommend it. Anybody that's looking for a big Airbnb.
Church of Love.
That place is incredible. I was like, wow, there's so many rooms here. I don't want to know what happened in any of them. Yeah. No, it's great.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like Shitnack City threw up everywhere. It's like, who needs a giant Buddha? Oh, we got room for it.
Yeah. And I never would have expected it was in that area. And there's just so much going on. They're buying the house behind it too. And
yeah. How far are you from where we stayed? Like, are you close
like
to the
25
strip?
minutes? I live a block from Circa downtown.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a quick, easy walk to Fremont Street. But since I am like on the other side of the train tracks, it's pretty quiet over here.
That's cool.
Which is nice. Like I can step into the circus if I want to, but I'm pretty removed, which is cool.
Do you walk then to those gigs when you're down there on Fremont?
Yeah, unless it's like 120, then I'm like, I'm good on that. But yeah, Circa, I play at Stadium Swim out here, and I can definitely walk to that. It's like a block and a half.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's chill.
Have you acclimated it? Because I'm testing the grounds here. I want to move in a couple of years, and I'm seeing where I want to move. Now, I know there's too many DJs already in Vegas, so I'm probably not welcome. But I'm just curious, like how you're liking it.
It's fucking incredible, man. I mean, I know, you know, my story's kind of been shared around certain sewing circles and stuff like that, and I've been having a fucking blast out here. You know, I am fortunate enough to have some really good agents, and they kind of put me in rooms that fit me, you know, and I don't need to compartmentalize myself. I don't need to really dumb down my interest musically to make it, you know, super shiny packaged pop bubblegum, you know, like I can really do me in a lot of these spots, and I can kind of touch on different genres, which is important to me. Like Stadium Swim, I play 4.5 hours of all house, which is fucking great. You know,
Yeah.
that scratches that itch. Pinky Ring, which I know you guys want to check out next time you're out here. I get to do disco, funk, boogie. I can get rare with it early on, you know, and then kind of open it up to a more open format club set. But no, there's different rooms for everything out here, which is a real joy for me because my main thing is what do you do when you know all of this music? You want to play it, you know, you want to
Right.
have an avenue for that. So I think Vegas is definitely a good city for that. Um, you know, and obviously, you know, I cut my teeth in Chicago too, doing a decade out there. And that's another incredible city where you can just be you
Yeah.
know. If you want to play old throwback, you know, if you want to touch on 70s, Dante has Goodnight John Boy out there, you know. If you want to see the House Masters, you can go to Smart Bar, you know, and catch Derek Carter, Michael Serafini, you know, Green Velvet plays out there like all the time, you know. It's these are incredible cities that still push the culture. And I definitely hear some of the other side of things in other cities where guys are like, man, we're getting paid like 150 a night. We're doing 4 hours. Like it's grunt work. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting gig economy right now. You know, it's highs and lows everywhere. Everything's kind of unpredictable right now, and hats off to all the DJs that are still on the grind.
Yeah. I wanted to circle back to Pinky Ring. And just I didn't get to go, and so it's number one on my thing to do when I got a Saturday off is come and hang out with you. But
Yep.
a couple of the guys did get to go, and were raving about the band and just like the music and on about how dope it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's incredible. Pinky Ring opened right after Super Bowl last year, so we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary. Um, it is presented by Bruno Mars, which adds another layer of a special dynamic for that room. You know, our capacity is just shy of 200, so when you step into that room, you're going to be hearing a live band playing multiple sets. You're going to hear a DJ play throughout the night. And we ask our guests that they leave their phones in their pockets, you know, and just kind of experience the night,
Yeah.
experience those moments amongst everyone. People are having conversation, people are dancing, people are watching the band, they're cheering, you know, it's such a special thing now that we don't have to deal with people holding up their phones with a song request
Right.
or you know someone's in the corner like texting all night, you know, kind of holding up space on the dance floor. When you step into that room, you know that you're there to get down, and
Yeah.
it's kind of amazing when you look around and you see people from 21 to 81
Yeah.
and above and beyond all kind of getting down with the same intention.
So dope. And is it always the same band, or does the band rotate?
We have rotating bands. We have a group called the Gemstones Collective, which is the diamonds, the rubies, and the emeralds, and they have different singers for each one. We
Okay.
have Dirty 30, who is a fantastic collective out of Los Angeles. with some amazing session musicians, guys that you've definitely seen on NPR Tiny Desk and stuff like that. Guys with jazz background. We have Bruno's band, the Hooligans, which, I mean, right there, you guys already know, like, absolutely incredible, legendary band. And then last year we had a guest pop in from OMA out of Manchester, UK. And they kind of struck gold and went viral with TikTok, doing hip hop covers and kind of jazz instrumental versions of that.
That's dope. And when to kind of even move it further, when you started and when you came to Vegas, you were Phenom, and now you're Velvet Hoss, and Pinky Ring had something to do with that rebrand as well, right?
Yeah, I I received my moniker from Bruno Mars. He and I kind of hit it off right away. On the first night I was in there DJing, and it all happened pretty rapidly, and we had sat down for some pretty extensive conversations, and he was like, you need a Vegas moniker now that you're out here, now that you're in this city. You need something that's like says and I had Phenom in some iteration or another since 2006, 2007. So I wasn't hell-bent on continuing that name. I just kind of, I flow with things, and so when we had talked about it extensively, he came up with it, and I have full faith in the project and everything, and it's given me an opportunity to kind of have fun with it, do a couple playful videos and stuff, and
the videos are amazing.
Yeah, I love you. I think it's very much like you. I think it's awesome.
The videos are so good. They're my favorite. I love all of them.
Thank you. Yeah, I that was big for me. And when I was younger, I always kind of wanted to have more of a hand in film and stuff like that. And obviously for us, soundtracking comes second nature. Like, we can see something going on and have the perfect song for that. If a fight breaks out, you know what you're going to play. If you see two people in love, you know what you're going to play. So when I got to do some of this sound design, I had called back on like early years of, I'd worked on projects with Nike when I moved to Portland and stuff like that. And I was like, cool, we're in the desert now. I get to create this soundscape of, like tumbleweeds, and hire a cool narrator, like a la Big Lebowski and stuff like that. And just kind of have fun and play, because I feel like that creativity kind of gets pushed to the side when we're grinding every single night. Like, fuck, I didn't even download 3 songs for tonight. I'm playing stuff I've been playing and whatever. So to take a step back and be like, cool, I'm going to reinvent myself. Something that's more geared towards me, like, I'm 37 now. Like, I was Phenom when I turned 18. I was celebrating my 18th and 19th birthday in the club, and a piece of that conversation with Bruno was, this is a name that you'll be able to keep for the rest of your life. This is, you can be 99 years old and they see you and they're like, that's fucking Velvet Hoss. So
I love it, and I props to you for going with it. It makes a lot of sense, and I think it's dope. And I also think it leads very heavily into our episode today, right?
Yeah.
And you're talking about being able to do a great soundscape and going all over everything, and we're decided to go with hidden gems and forgotten tunes is kind of the episode for today. That's what we're going with. And we got the perfect guy for it.
Yeah, I've compiled a list of 385 songs for you guys. No.
That's what mine started as. I was dumping so many songs in here. I'm like, how am I going to make this make sense for everybody?
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, we have an hour show, Colin. Like, let's keep it tight here. Yeah, no, I got you. I got you. No, hell yeah. I'm excited to see what you guys came up with.
All right, so we'll just go round robin style here. We'll just go around and take turns. I'll kick it off. So with what Drew said, today's feature is like more of a hidden gems or forgotten about. My first pick is one I've been playing a lot in my sets lately, and I never really did, but it's been hitting for me, and that is Grouplove, Tongue Tied. More specific, the edit that I like is Patrick Zurn did an edit. I forget where I grabbed that one from. Maybe Late Night Record. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he kind of did the stripped down version. I really, really like it. I made a personal edit that takes his stripped down version and puts the Twinsick house remix on it. I play that one all the time, and it gets a great reaction. And it's something that I don't hear other DJs playing when I go out as well.
Hell yeah, I definitely want to hear that.
Drew, your turn.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Well, this one I played at the GMS party, and had a couple of people come up to me and said, I never thought I would hear that in a club set. And I feel like all of us kind of used to play this. So I didn't think of it that way. And maybe that's what I like doing, is sneaking these kind of randoms in. But it's Kansas, Carry On Wayward Son, the Victor Menegaux ReDrum. And
hell yeah,
I still love that version. It's just, it hits so well. So
shout out to Victor. He's a machine. He just cranks them out.
I know, it's awesome. He's
so
been cranking them out again lately, like a lot of blends and mashups, and they've been fun.
I love that. He's a fantastic editor for sure. I came up with a list of just nonsense, so people are going to have to go on a deep dive here. I've pulled 5 songs out of my hat. The first one is Ecstasy by JJ, 2009. It's a Norwegian or Scandinavian kind of flip on Lil Wayne Lollipop. And
yes. Oh, good.
It's got this girl singing with this kind of haunting voice. It's incredible. It was actually a huge blog era hit, but like it's turned into a if you know, you know. I saw JJ open up for the XX, so it was JJ and XX years ago, probably like 2009 in Bloomington, Indiana, when I was in college at IU. And some really, really deep cuts for you guys today. So I'll just start off with that.
I love it. Yeah. Awesome. My next pick is Kiss, I Was Made for Loving You. This song is definitely seen like a resurgence, and more specifically, the Oliver Heldens featuring Nile Rodgers version is the one that I've been playing. Really, really good. I love when I can mix like some classic rock into my sets in one way or another. So for me, that's it. That's the one I'm playing.
That shit goes so hard.
Yeah, I've been playing that one as well. And there's like an Uzu, or is it Ozzy remix of Baby Baby?
There's a few.
Oh no, it's not the same one. It's I mix it into is what I was gonna say.
Oh right.
It's like a house version. It just kind of flows well. I like that. My next one is, I'm gonna go with a reggae one here, and it's Shaggy. I just call it Mr. Lova Lova. That's how I have it titled, but I think it is Love Love or something along those lines, right?
Love Me, or is it the one that he actually goes Mr. Lova Lova?
No. It's the one. It's the hook. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Janet's on the hook, and it's "Ooh boy, I love you so." It's the Candyman hook, right?
Yeah.
And so it's that,
Love
and
Me?
then Love Me. Is it that what it is?
Yeah.
It's like spelled
I have
LUV though.
Or sex machine. Love Me, Sex Machine.
No.
Yeah. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've had it mistitled in Serato since I got it, and I've just kept it that way. So I couldn't tell you the right
It's
name.
actually featuring Samantha Cole. That's
It's Samantha Cole. Okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I play it all the time, and it is it always gets a great reaction because it is a familiar hook, and you can't understand Shaggy, so it's great.
I have it tagged as Janet too.
Really?
Is that a DMS thing?
I don't know. I'm just Googling here, and it just says Samantha Cole on the
Let me
official
look it up in
video.
Spotify because I feel like it was Janet.
Is this a Mandela effect?
No,
Could
it is
be.
Samantha Cole. It is Samantha Cole. It's Love Me, Luv. Yeah.
Kazam, Shazam. You know who?
Kazam and Shazam, yeah. I gotta
Sinbad.
go check on DMS because I think Janet Jackson's been getting the props for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a banger. I love that song. I definitely play that out. My second pick for this is a song that I found on TikTok.
My favorite
Occasionally,
place. I'm sorry, I'm addicted, and I can admit it. I actually DJ'd the TikTok shop corporate event a couple days ago.
oh shit!
And so I was
How was
trying to
that?
throw a couple of these. It's
He
all
bought
hype.
these shoes off the TikTok shop too.
What?
Well, so it was the TikTok shop. It's basically for quote unquote influencers, and they're just selling like Fuse's shoes, for example. Someone, well, they had like a Croc shop. They had all these different shops, right? And then you, as the influencer, like, I got it off the TikTok shop, and then you try and it's a drop ship style thing. And so they had influencers talking, and I just DJ'd the walk ups, and while everyone was going around networking, I was trying to work in a lot of these little random TikTokers. So there you go. Anyways, I'm obsessed as well. That was my lead up to what you had to say.
No, it's fucking great. I find so much music on TikTok, and I found this song called Red Bellied Blacksnake by the Beefs. It came out in 2022 is when it came out. And it's kind of got like, I want to say like similar to the Strokes. It's got like a cool, like quick indie, like Franz Ferdinand, like Strokes kind of vibe. So I'm sure we can link all of these songs in the episode or whatever. But yeah, I'm including genres from all directions today. So
that's the goal. Me too.
That's my indie rock pick for the day.
I love that. I'm a giant Strokes fan, so
yeah, I love the Strokes.
That's a great one.
My next pick, it's not super hidden, but it's also on a record, or it falls under the umbrella of a record label that rhymes with Moni. And so you don't really find it on any record pools. And it's Miles Smith, Stargazing. I did some SoundCloud diving a couple weeks back and found a couple good remixes. Since then, I've made a Daft's edit. So if you need that, you can message Drew and I, and we'll send it to you. But Miles Smith, Stargazing, I've played it both nights this past weekend, and it was probably the biggest song I played both nights.
Send it. Yeah, I need it. Anything on that label who must not be named, send it over. We want it all.
My next pick is a band I just went and saw. It's Tuxedo, and this is Mayor Hawthorne and was it Vic One, right? Or who?
Jake One.
Jake One, right? My bad. Tuxedo. I just went and saw them. A little show, and took my kid, and it was awesome. They had this dope all vinyl DJs opening up, and then it was just a great show. And I gotta show my kid some cool shit. She just is tuned into whatever is on the radio or TikTok. So this is Tuxedo, and I'm going with, basically their whole discography if you want, but I'm gonna pick number one is the title of the song, and it is a cover, or I heard Mayor Hawthorne explain this in an interview. It's basically Ain't No Fun, Snoop Dogg. And in an interview, the way he described it was he went looking for the sample of Ain't No Fun, but couldn't find it. And so he wanted to make the sample. So they basically created what in his mind is how Dr. Dre sampled for Ain't No Fun.
Oh yeah.
There you go. So
anyways, their music kind of revolves around that kind of theme. It's like you can pinpoint, like they have the song with Zap that sounds like a Zap song, and they're so good at creating the 70s and the 80s and that kind of feel good vibe. Same with shameless promo, Silk Sonic, obviously, you know, I'm gonna say that. Like it's a skill for sure, because like even like Purple Disco, right? You want to make something, but you don't want to come off as like cheese ball or like over polished or whatever when you're creating the disco sound. So shout out to them and the Knox too.
Oh yeah.
The Knox are really good at that.
Very, very underrated.
Yeah.
But they had a killer backing band, and the whole show was awesome. So yeah, I'd say if you don't know, get to know. There you go.
Hell yeah. I saw Mayor played records out here in Vegas last year with Trey's, and it was an after party for Life is Beautiful Festival. And some of the records that this guy pulled out, we were just nerding in the corner on Discogs, like, let's look it up and see how much it is. And it's like, oh, $2,500 45. Sure. Okay. $3,000. Sure.
Jeez.
I'm like, you have a house in this record bag. Like, good on you, dude. Like, he played Q Lazarus, Goodbye Horses on 45. It's like $800 45, and you like wouldn't think of that, because like people were laughing, and he's like, look it up on Discogs right now, and everybody was like, what the fuck? So yeah,
that's crazy.
Mayor's got the deep cut.
You don't want to take any of that collection out in the Vegas heat wave. So I hope it was like during the winter or inside, right?
Yeah, the sun was very down at that point. Like, you know, that's like out here. The joke is like we have to run like all of our grocery run and errands at like 6 a.m. because after that it's like boom, it'll just scorch you. So, my third pick for this is actually 1979 Orlando Julius Disco Highlife, and that's going to be another one that people are like, "What, huh?" But
that's my favorite. Really, that's what I want to know.
Big fucking Orlando Julius fan. Yeah, I think my wife had played this one night, and it's got such a cool, like, upbeat, feel good sound to it. Disco Highlife, Orlando Julius.
Do you have it on vinyl?
I don't, surprisingly. I will say this though, since you mentioned Kiss, I sold one of their promo records earlier this year for $1,500.
Wow!
So
wow, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Kiss fans are like maniacs for sure. Yeah, they'll buy anything.
If you guys are listening and you don't know, Velvet Haas here also does all vinyl sets as well. So I don't think we mentioned that.
I'll be doing one tonight at Wax Rabbit, and then I play Super Freako at Cosmopolitan too. If you're in town, just hit me up. Let me know you're coming out.
I just want to come to Vegas and only go to your gigs for like 2 or 3 days in a row and come home. That's really all I want to do.
Let's do it. Seriously, anytime.
I already have that planned. One of these Sunday, I'm going to do just like a little turnaround Saturday to come out. But I want to digress here. And, you know, you're doing these vinyl shows. And, you know, earlier in the show, you said you get to really just curate and do whatever you want. How much do people buy into it when they come to that? I guess that's always my fear, is that people are just assholes regardless if they get it or not.
It's half and half. And I'm definitely used to that. I'll kind of pull back the reins on some gigs because I know the kind of clientele that's rolling in is like, we don't give a fuck about, you know, Orlando Julius Disco Highlife, you know, like just, you know, they want to hear like Candy Rain or, you know, like some Return of the Mac or whatever, you know. So I'll definitely pack some of those gimme records where it's like, okay, cool, pivot, here's Calvin Harris Slide, you know, or some shit like that.
Right. Overall, do you feel like if you're doing, and I think it was maybe Neek said this on the Road podcast or something, overall, if you feel that you're doing a real vinyl set, are you being more open with the taste in general versus a set where you're bringing Serato? Like, isn't that the idea, at least, to be like...
Yeah,
that would be my idea.
He caught a lot of heat for that.
A lot of heat
for that comment. And I I totally stand by him on that. Like,
I'm with him on that.
I with him on that too.
if you're spending time and really spending money, you should play what you fucking love, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you're dropping $20 on a 12-inch single, play it out, right?
Yeah.
Like we aren't just fucking museums where, you know, here, welcome to my home. Like, this record just sits, you know, like, now that we have these opportunities, like, I do feel a bit of a historian context to be like, hey, here's some shit you don't know about the job of the fucking DJ, right? You know,
Right.
it's like, if everything's like, yeah, you know, and this is number 1 on the Billboard 100, and this is number 2, and this is number 3, then why are you here?
Right.
You know, like,
I might as well
what
just
am I
bring my
doing?
Serato and play Kesha, you know?
Yeah. Like, I want to add to the conversation, you know, I want to be able to provide the greatest compliment is seeing someone Shazam a song, right?
Yeah.
Like, as a DJ, you're like, this person's actually invested the time to even just hit a fucking button and be like, I'm interested in this.
Yeah.
I want to go down the rabbit hole. And I caught that one night. I was playing, I think I was playing Sarah from Fleetwood Mac during a vinyl set, and somebody Shazammed it, and they were like, you know, they came up and they're like, I'm not really familiar with Fleetwood Mac, you know, outside of the song with the cranberry juice guy that, you know, was super viral or whatever, you know. And yeah,
The description alone is what makes it amazing.
yeah, right. And if you tell somebody that in like 10 years, they're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right,
you know,
right.
That's how quick everything moves. But I think being able to share your story and have kind of a narrative behind your DJ sets is really the joy of being able to play our records. I've been collecting this shit since I was 12 years old, you know, and like, now that you guys want me to play this shit, hell yeah.
It'd be the number one reason I'd go to a Wax Rabbit or any show is because I don't want to know anything. You know?
Right. And if I want to see that. If I'm going to see like, if I'm going to a vinyl place where somebody's playing, if I'm going to a bar where I know the DJ is playing vinyl music, I don't want to fucking hear 50 Cent in the club. Like, I don't want to hear that at all. Like, I want somebody that's like, oh shit, they're playing that. Oh man, like, I want to be like not in that environment.
Yeah. In the club's a $29 record now, by the way, which was used to be like.
It's not that I don't like 50 Cent in the club. It's just, you know, it was the first. Can you play the birthday song? You know, like
right. Yeah, I want to inspire people. You know, like, I want to get back to, you know, the goal has always been to not only break records but to share music with people. That's the only reason I got into this, is to be like, hey, I want you to hear this song, and then now watch how this sounds with that song underneath it, you know.
Right.
And we're just going to keep weaving this tapestry throughout the night and making, you know, one of the greatest things I read was about Larry Levan and how he could make people feel angry if he's in an angry mood that day, or he could make you feel jubilant if he had a great day, or, you know, he can take you on these peaks and valleys musically. And, you know, somebody said the DJ doesn't play like that anymore.
Right.
You know, they don't play with that kind of firepower and emotion behind it to where you're getting what that person's feeling today.
For sure. It's such a weird thing, and we talk about this all the time, but it's like, also when you're at a spot and it's just like what's now become the open format spots or just like a regular party bar, the crowd also doesn't allow it sometimes. They're just so fucking willing to turn on you as soon as you play one song that's like not like Sean Kingston or you know, like Pitbull.
Well, it can all, we're also sensitive. Like, I'm not saying as DJs, if someone's attacking you, you're like, this is my art, you know, I'm doing this for you. Right. So I think also on top of that, just one person can fuck it up for everybody. some people might be enjoying it, and I've known, you know, some girl come up and get in my face, and next thing you know, it's ruined my whole night. So I'm just as to blame for that, you know.
And not everything is artistry every night, right? It's not
Right.
like, hey, look at my fucking knowledge of music, you know. Sometimes it's just like, here's Avicii levels.
Right.
And that's fine too. That's fine too. Like, you
You're
know,
just like you're no different than the plumber coming to fix the pipe. You're like going to your gig and you're getting paid and you're going home, you know?
Yeah. I think years and years and years of doing that has awarded me the opportunity now to kind of have some supplementing gigs where I get to tell this story and paint this picture for people. And that to me is where my investment has been the entire time. Like, I'm still reading liner notes on albums. I'm still reading books every week on producers and albums and just the weird things that go on, because I'm such a fucking nerd for this shit, you know? Like, I eat, sleep, and breathe music, you know?
Well,
And I think that digging through records and stuff is
you've done a good
our
job
opportunity.
of aligning yourself with the things that you want. Like, if anybody, I feel like if I could, like, of all the DJs that we know globally across the United States, whatever you want to say, like, I feel like you've done a good job of aligning yourself with what makes you happy and what fits with you. And, you know, it's taken moves. Like you said, you went from Indiana to Chicago to Portland, now to Vegas. But right now, I feel like just from watching from a distance that it's 100% you. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely feel that way.
And there's a lot of cool stuff happening out there. And I feel like you guys kind of are a part of this like Vegas movement that's like, okay, the super clubs are still happening, but there's all these cool events and parties and venues that are happening. And you guys, unique, you know, you guys are like pioneering it almost. That's what it seems from, you know, somebody outside, you know?
Sure. And we want to champion the DJ having their voice. You know, we want to champion the weirdo. You know, the person that's like, dude, I fucking love this shit. You know, like, you know, just showing an album cover to someone and being like, dude, you got to hear this and then this and this sounds like that. Like, if we can do that and really get back to, you know, what our love is for the music and everything, instead of just being the plumber that shows up, you know, then that's really what's going to make me want to stay in this for another decade.
I still want to show my ass crack from time to time. Is that allowed?
That's fine.
That was welcomed at the DMS house. I saw that
place. Oh boy! All right, getting back to it. I'm back in my pick, the number 4 pick for me, and there's some edits of this on DMS that I've made. And it's a really fun song that I like to play in my sets. A lot of times at places where I feel like people are just a tad more open-minded with the music. So, but it's Toploader, Dancing in the Moonlight. I really like that version. It's a little more dance floor friendly than the King Harvest version. Anyway, that's my pick. I did a couple epic intros that are on DMS, and I play those and they work great for me.
This one actually is a mashup if you could find it. It's TJR Ode to Oi, but someone did a mashup, and I want to say our good friend Kevin Scott found this one and is TNT mashup in there. So it's Ode to Oi, which I think is a sample of it, but they actually worked in TNT into it. And I know it's online somewhere. You have to go dig around, but it's always a good little, you know, mainstream enough because it has the drop and it has the stuff, but it's mainstream enough to keep everybody's interest, but, you know, do a rock song that isn't Fall Out Boy or Outfield Your Love. So
yeah, that's a banger. That's timeless material, man. I really enjoy that. When you guys get the chance, look up the story behind Dancing in the Moonlight, because it's actually a very sad story.
Oh, really?
yeah, this guy got mugged and beat up on the beach, and while he was in his hospital bed, he was recounting what it would be like if the night actually went well, and
Huh.
that's the King Harvest story.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So it's wild, right? It's such a beautiful song, such a fun, like playful song. And then
Yeah.
I think my buddy DJ Gray up in Alaska was like, "You know what that's about, right?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" So yeah, that's on Wikipedia. It's gonna flip your mind on that one.
I opened so many weddings with that song. That's pretty wild. That yeah, and everyone
You're like
just sings
thinking
along,
back,
and they're
like,
like, "Oh," just because I like the little did it. It's just a great little opener for a wedding dinner. You know,
yeah,
that it's great.
so smooth. Yacht rock, right? Like that's
Oh,
yacht rock.
yeah, everyone likes it. It just got a vibe. Yeah, it's super yacht rock.
Yeah,
It was
the King
redone. It
Harvest
wasn't.
version.
Well, there was another version too.
Probably the Toploader, the one.
No,
that
it wasn't the Toploader one. It's
There's
it
this Thin
is.
Lizzy with the same title.
Is it? Oh no, is it Toploader? I'm sorry. I think you're right. It's Jubel is the house remix that I was thinking.
Oh yeah.
Toploader is the version that was after the King Harvest version. So yes, correct.
That's the one the play, and there's edits on DMS. At least there should be. If there's not, hit me up.
Hell yeah. I am sure you guys didn't expect the Osmonds to be on this list.
I didn't, but all I could think of with Donnie, and I don't even remember what it's from, but someone who it must have been like some TV show, and Donnie and Marie were on like a wall, like a painting, and it's just all teeth, right? And they just have like the perfect teeth. It's like the like the whole thing is like, yeah, Donnie, and your perfect fucking smile. Like that's all I can remember. Anyways, oh, and the fact about Donnie is he's Mormon, right? The Maries, the Osmonds are Mormon, and my mom, my parents grew up Mormon, but they always talk about how in love she was with Donnie Osmond. So,
Oh my gosh,
give it up.
Well, you can tell her that in 1979 they made one of the most fire disco songs ever called I, and it's a fucking banger. I unfortunately have to let you guys know they smoked it, and they're so cool.
Yeah.
And this song is actually a pretty quintessential piece for Soul Wax when they do Despacio at Coachella and some other spots. Shout out to Kevin Scott, who I got to enjoy our Coachella Despacio experience with.
Yeah, he talks about it all the time.
Yeah, this song is so fire.
Yeah.
It is so fire. And if anything you guys hear from me today musically, go look up I, just the letter I by the Osmonds. Yes, those Osmonds on YouTube.
All right. There it is.
Love it.
Yep.
I think it's back to me. My pick for this is the Red Hot Chili Peppers Love Roller Coaster. It's a cover. I'm very audio visual, which I wanted to mention earlier when you were talking about Fleetwood Mac. Like anytime I hear the song Go Your Own Way, I think of Forrest Gump running down the street. Like every time I hear that song, it's just what pops in my head. And so for this one, it's Beavis and Butthead Do America. Every time I hear it, I can't help but think that.
Yeah,
that is exactly that's the video, the music video for this song.
That's the video too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just anytime I hear it, I think that. But when I'm playing like in that disco vein, that like anywhere like 105, 110 up to like 120, and I'm just like in that pocket and playing disco funky, I always love playing Love Roller Coaster, even though it's like a newer song in that like the disco era, it fits in that vibe and it's just fun. And the sample is, old, but I just love it. So I'll just leave it at that.
Is it? It's not an exact cover. It's different.
It's not technically a cover. I get.
Yeah, it is. So the Ohio players,
the verses are different.
They're a little different. Okay.
Yeah. Because
I haven't
He-
listened to it in a minute. So
Anthony
really,
Kiedis has to rap on everything.
yes, that's what I was gonna say. It's still very much him. So,
that was a very 90s era when the Chili Peppers had major hits on soundtracks, right? You know, you don't get that as often these days, but they had
what's
major
crazy
hits.
is I know you've read his book, Colin, and
Yeah.
just to think where he was at in his life when that came out and how just a freak of nature, like not normal his life was, and they're still doing that kind of stuff.
This guy, talk about living on the edge. Like
Yeah.
if you can read Scar Tissue by Anthony Kiedis, you'll be like, holy fuck. Like he was in it from like age 12.
Yep.
Like going to clubs with his dad.
Yep.
So yeah,
like did his first line at like 13, line of coke, like at 13.
He's like LA to the fucking core. So
he's still quote unquote too alive to do like a movie about it, right? Do you know what I mean? Like a biopic. Biopic. He's too still with us. I mean, Bob Dylan just came out with his, right? So we get
great.
We get Chalamet to go do can he play Kiedis? Switch it.
That book was so, and I don't know for you, but it was so like, I don't know if I want to use the word powerful, but so like real. And like, I just had to like put it down at times and be like, I got to come back to this because it's like too like self-destruction too much to where I'm like,
it's dirty, right? You feel kind of dirty reading it. Yeah.
And it was just like, I don't need to hear about him sticking a needle in his arm at this moment. Like, I just gonna put it down and come back to it. Like when I'm in a better space for it, you know?
Yeah.
I had to do that a few times with it.
I'm in the Elton John book right now, and it's got similar tones of that with cocaine. And and I'm like, because Elton John was like deep in it, and has been sober for many years now. But talk about another interesting story, and watching these artists weave their tapestries through drugs and alcohol and coming out on the other side and still making fantastic music, for 50 years.
Right.
It's incredible. I mean, look at Keith Richards, right? Like, I just finished, God, I read so many books on the Rolling Stones, and Keith, his autobiography, he talks about, we were just doing heroin so we could outwork everyone. We could work for 4 days in the studio and crank out all of this music and all these ideas.
Yeah.
And there's no off switch.
I read his memoir, and it was the nuts too. Just nuts.
Yeah. The fact that those dudes are still ripping it.
I know.
Anthony Kiedis, I didn't read his book, but they did just recently upload a ton of the old school videos, like Fight Like a Brave and just all these random videos, right? And they're basically just some drug fueled craziness. But in them, I think I read a little bit of that book, and he talks about they would work out so much to compensate for the drugs. And so they're all ripped in all of the videos, right? Not just from being skinny, but from working out and being on drugs.
Yeah. Cocaine and free weights, right?
What's crazy too, when I started reading it, I didn't realize that it came out in 2005. So when it was over, I was like, wait, what? I'm like, we're only till 2005? Like, what's he been doing for the last 20 years? Like,
yeah. There's so much more to that. I feel like you could put out a second book, like,
oh, for sure.
It's crazy. And I gained a new respect for the band as a whole too. I mean, obviously we know Frusciante is like one of the goats that's, up there with Hendrix, and it doesn't always get due diligence, as being one of the greatest guitar players. Right. And Flea obviously on the bass. And these guys were really scholars of funk and soul.
Oh, for sure.
And they were covering Sly Stone, and they were covering all this cool shit, Love Rollercoaster. And I really respect them for doing
Stevie
that.
Wonder, Higher Ground, Stevie Wonder.
Power Rangers soundtrack. Yeah. Soundtrack Kings. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were so fucking good at doing those funk and soul covers. So that first album too is a work of art. Like all the albums are pretty solid, but that and Blood Sugar Sex Magic is just like Funky Monk's Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Like yeah.
I love the whole album.
Yeah.
And let's see.
Your number 5.
I went.
It's your turn.
Did I go?
I went. Yeah, it's got my number 5.
You went. Okay.
Love Rollercoaster.
Well, I'm gonna just do a shameless plug here, and I'm gonna go with a Daft's bootleg, and it's Kevin Rudolph, Let It Rock, and with Blue Monday, and it's one of those I don't know if everyone downloaded, but every time I play it in the sets, it's always it always hits hard, and it has a little Wayne verse on it. So there you go, shameless plug.
Fuck yeah! What's Kevin Rudolph up to?
Nothing. Promoting Let It Rock still. Swear. Go on his Instagram.
When he arrives, he brings a fire.
That song was so massive for that era. But yeah, it is. And you know, maybe Lil Wayne's carrying it, but it hits. That bootleg is every time it comes on, it definitely is a nice surprise. So there you go.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. My 5th song is a song that I heard in the mall yesterday. So 2023, Jessie Ware, Free Yourself. It's got a cool, like upbeat, housey disco vibe to it.
Yeah.
I might have to make an edit and toss it up on DMS as long as it's not on. Can't say the name of the label. But yeah, no. I'm most inspired going to stores and hearing how they're soundtracking, and you know, going to the grocery store. The grocery store always has the best fucking music, right? It's like it's fucked up. Yeah. So yeah,
if I can hear it now. Nowadays it's too low for my ears to even hear the grocery store stuff. It's like that audible hum of people talking and the stuff that I'm like, I can't hear what's playing.
Yeah.
It's a good run. But you're not wrong. I just it's a good run with my ears.
It's still going on. Just know that they still got it. Yeah,
they still got it.
Lots of Toto and George and Africa. Yeah.
Is there any honorable mentions? Are we? Is that it?
I got an honorable mention. I'll kick it off with, and it's not too out of the box, but it is more out of the box than probably some of the stuff that I'm playing. Leona Lewis Bleeding Love. I play a version of that. I believe Scooter did it, and it's like I think around the 110. So it's like not super housey, but it's not like, it just gives it a little more. And I play that when I'm kind of like climbing the BPM. Sometimes I'll even like bump it up to like 115 or 120 when I want to get into a housey set from like a poppy or a disco set. I'll kind of use that as like my crossover track to get into like some house.
It's a great track. Big sing along. I had let's see, one I heard a DJ Irv play recently is this is just honorable mention, but CeeLo, Fuck You. I completely forgot about that, and I was shocked at how well it did. I mean, people were even singing the bridge, and I was like, wow, okay. But the Joe Moz remix, he added a bunch of horns on it and whatnot, and I do love that. And then I'm going to give one that we mentioned in a recent episode is William Hung, She Bangs. And, you know, you guys didn't hear my William Hung shout out. I'm out of here. You didn't hear my William Hung drop that I got. It's in one of the recent episodes. So William Hung, She Bangs. That one's definitely high up there.
I got during the pandemic when Drew was down and sad that he wasn't DJing. I got Drew a cameo from William Hung.
Perfect. Yeah, very good. Thanks for keeping his economy going. Oh my God. Well, I don't have anything as highbrow as that. I'll give you guys a 2-piece. Sneaker Pimps, 6 Underground.
Yeah.
Classic 90s.
Amazing.
And then right
wait, I
along
want
that
to add on to it. I want to add on to it. Portishead, Sour Times came out right about the same time, and I recently heard that on it had to have been TikTok. I heard it the little sample going on in the back, and took me a second to like pinpoint it, but I would love if any kind of down tempo sad shit like that came back. It was my favorite era.
Yeah. Fucking Lalo Schifrin, classic composer. That's what that sample's from.
Okay.
And it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
So the third song from that era, when people think of Portishead, and then they think of Sneaker Pimps, and then the third one they should go to is White Town, Your Woman.
Great one.
Which was recently sampled by Dua Lipa.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's just like kind of like nightclubby 90s for me. I don't know if there's a genre for that.
See, that's why I want to come hear you play, because I want to hear White Town, Your Woman when I'm out. I want to hear that.
I have that on vinyl just for you. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm going to be sipping a little cocktail and being like,
yeah. I'll find some William Hung for you guys too. So,
hey, I'm a fan. That guy was able to turn what was, just like a random thing into an amazing career. I don't know. I give him props.
He's got a Christmas album. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he does. But could you imagine the William Hung Christmas album?
What's his net worth? I got to look this up.
Like $60,000, like
$500K.
No way. He's got it.
He's killing it. Yeah,
he's a superstar.
Yeah, mad
That's
props.
Great.
What's the Spotify look like? Let's see how many monthly listeners he's got while we're at it.
William Hung. Graduated from California State, Northridge. There you go.
He's got 4,000 monthly Spotify listeners.
His profession is listed as celebrity, and I think that's very generous.
Dude, he does have a Christmas album. I'm not even joking. William, it's called Hung for the Holidays.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Come on. How do you even beat that? How do you even beat that name though? It's too good. It's everything about it is fire.
With that, we're over. The whole episode is done.
That's it. Yeah. Hung for the holidays.
Dude. I can't even.
What the fuck?
Okay, if we ever come up with a Christmas album, that's going to be the title of it. We're going to steal that. Hung for the Holidays.
Or it's going to be called Not Hung for the Holidays.
Not hung.
Is it an innie or an outie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, give us all of your socials and where people can find you, and they can see these fire videos that you got, promo clips.
It's all Velvet Hoss, VELVETHOSS, Instagram, Twitter, Mixcloud. I'm working on a couple things right now. Got a couple coals in the fire for some new music for you guys. You can grab my Charlie XCX remix on DMS. Shameless promo there. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me.
Of course.
No,
we'll have to do it again.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I loved it.
Hung for the holidays.
Hung for the holidays. All right, that's gonna wrap up today's show. We appreciate
Christmas
you guys.
in March.
Yeah. Christmas in
Hung
March.
in March.
Hung for the holidays.
Hung year round.
Hung year round. Wow, man, it really keeps going.
All right, that's all she wrote.
All right,
peace.
Until next time. See ya.